Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we're still with the Sunday Igboho narrative, the man of the moment. So it looks as though now the Buhari government have now decided to make a big move against this guy, and they are using the Lekki toll gate strategy. The Lekki toll gate strategy, of course, a lot of you would know, is to have the Central Bank of Nigeria freeze the accounts of the people behind Lekki toll gate, especially the money routes that sponsored that particular insurrection, we have to say it, or demonstration or protest, however you choose to term it. So all of the pathways that donation went into that demonstration, the accounts were identified and frozen. So that strategy worked effectively as a punitive measure against the people that organized the Lekki toll gate. So it looks as though it is a case of a rinse and repeat. As guys, I bring you this: Sunday Igboho to federal government on freeze my bank account or else. So of course the Lekki toll gate strategy, as I said, being reapplied now in this particular instance on the Igboho, but I don't recall, of course, all of the plethora of northerners that have issued quit notices to southerners over the years, especially over the course of the tenure of this particular Malami that we have in charge now. I don't recall any of them being rebuked, never mind being invited to come and account for their words, never mind any move like their account being frozen or anything being done against them. So the impunity, of course, you can see now that we are slowly evolving a two-tier society within the Nigerian system, a sort of like an apartheid sort of system that they had in South Africa, where blacks were only allowed in certain quarters, but it looks as though now the blacks now are replicated with the southerners within the Nigerian space, where the Nigerian rules and constitutions and laws apply differently to the southerners as it does to the northerners. Again, the headline: Sunday Igboho to federal government on freeze my bank account or else. So now let's now see now what or else means. Popular Yoruba rights activist Chief Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, has accused the federal government of freezing his bank accounts. He said the move was because of his campaigns against killer headsmen in the southwest. Igboho alleged his bank accounts have been frozen by the federal government because some people were collecting donations on his behalf. He denied having anything to do with the donations, warning that his accounts must be unfrozen to avoid nationwide protest by youths across the southwest region. His words: "They have frozen my bank accounts because I am fighting a just cause. I know Yoruba people are behind me. I will not relent. I must achieve my aims by putting an end to criminalities in Yoruba land. If they refuse to release my account, there will be serious protest across the southwest. Yes, the Yorubas are living in fear. They are afraid that the killer headsmen might attack them." So there is his submission now. He's making a lot of assumptions, of course, because we're starting now from the last stanza, threatening that the Yoruba people will rise in his support. The Yoruba people might not necessarily rise in his support. They might, because now we are now seeing a new phenomenon with the NSAS, which then shows, then it makes a lie then of that meekness that a lot of people try to attribute, especially to the southwestern region. So they rose in numbers at that Lekki incident, but for this guy now to try and leverage that is making a very dangerous calculation with his well-being, effectively, is what he is doing, because there are no guarantees that the Yorubas will rise in his defense. But then, of course, if you look at the sort of crowds that he draws anytime that he goes to these places to agitate for the Fulanis to leave one place or the other, if you look at the sort of crowds that he draws, then you see that he has reasons to feel emboldened and make this sort of statements. But we go first now to the opening part of the narrative, stating now that the federal government have frozen his bank account. So there is a GoFundMe being organized by some bloggers in London, I think it is, or that is where the person is based. Some media person, some social media type character has set up a GoFundMe for Sunday Igboho. So all attempts now have been made to shut that down, but that blogger had preempted that the government might move against it. So she or he, I think it's a she actually, the name sounded like a she. I can't quite recall the name, but I did a story on it once, and the name behind it sounded like a female name. But whoever or whatever, that person preempted a move by the federal government and was then making the donations also available in cryptocurrencies. So that is, of course, what's now led to that now, or to this rather now ongoing cryptocurrency saga that is going on within the Nigerian space, with the Mallam Buhari regime looking to ban it, because of course anything that they don't understand, they take an AK-47 to it. So they are taking an AK-47 to cryptocurrencies off the back of a GoFundMe fundraising set up for Sunday Igboho, but then they are moving even further now to shut down this guy's accounts, because of course if you don't have money then you cannot move. So this is now the technique now, and this is now something that they seem to be slowly perfecting off the back of what they did at Lekki Toll Gate, the freezing of the accounts. Although I was reading that there's actually a court order now to have those NSAS accounts unfrozen, which of course another unconstitutional move by the Buhari regime. But then of course the Buhari regime are noted and notorious for unconstitutional behaviors. But now Sunday Igboho now feeling the weight of the state, which is of course how the Buhari system usually weighs. And the other thing that actually bothers me actually is how quickly and swiftly they are able to, and they do, move to go and attack somebody's personal account. So this doesn't bode well for the confidence that people would want to repose in the financial systems, when at the whim and caprices of some minions or some person in some government office, an account can be frozen and you cannot have access to your money. That's sort of like a draconian. It's again that AK-47 thing that they hold to everything. So everything within the Nigerian space is seen as a tool of repression, and as the country continues to try to evolve a sort of like a financial system, then of course these people with their behavior are trying to regress it, as they seek to regress virtually everything within the Nigerian space. But then, as I said, Sunday Igboho feeling the weight of the nation now, or not the nation so much, or certainly of the government now on his back. And once Mallam Buhari has his jackboot on your neck, it is bye-bye birdie. So is it bye-bye birdie to Sunday Igboho is the question. Come give your answers in the comment section. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, the federal government now, they tried and tested the attacking people's accounts with the NSAS protest, the people who were behind the donations that funded that movement. So they tested it there. So they are now perfecting it on Sunday Igboho to the point that he's now alarming in the public space, crying for help from the people to come and rally to his call. Come share thought about all this with me in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section over here. I say peace.